Hi everyone! It's Facebook Live time. So, welcome. My name is LuLu Locks and I am the founder and owner of Sweet Tart Salon at 150 Broadway in Providence, Rhode Island. If you have not yet met me or been to our great shop, what you might love to know about us is that we are a very fashion-forward destination hair salon with a truly vintage heart. I've always been someone that knows that classic beauties are always attractive, and it's part of my philosophy of how I like to dress and how I like to get through my day. Sometimes a little red lipstick or a little headscarf, can look a little fancier. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop onto my cell phone here for a quick second and just share this feed for a second. And you can probably tell that I'm in kind of an echoey room right now, and it's because I am in our photo studio today, which we are in the middle of remodeling. Huge fan of great brick walls, so I've got some great space here, and I'm happy to bring you this tutorial from a great quiet room today. I personally work a whole bunch, and a lot of times I need to race out of the house really fast, and I don't necessarily have the time in the morning to do my hair if I'm going out in the evening. And I may not necessarily have the time right after work in the evening to prepare my hair to go out. So over the years, I've come up with a ton of little tricks for what I call day to night hairdressing. So I'm gonna finish this little note on here. What am I gonna say about it? Tips and tricks for day to night hair, part one. And we're gonna call it part one because, well, I've got a bunch of these that I'd like to show you, and today I'm going to start with what I think is one of the easiest and one of the most versatile, and something that you can build upon or not. So I posted a time-lapse video on my Instagram earlier today, and that I in turn put into the blog post that's linked right at the bottom of your screen. So if you'd like to learn more about the tools that I'm using today, or if you'd like to learn more about the products that I'm using today, there's some great links on where you can purchase the scarves that I'm working with today, or perhaps the styling products that I'm going to use on my head. So I have been moving furniture all day and cleaning and sweeping and scrubbing and all those things that nobody loves to do. And I ran out of the house this morning with a big old bun on my head, and about partway through my day, before clients arrived to the salon, I took the time to section my head and do a little curling iron work. So I have a mannequin here. Da, 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 da. Isn't she beautiful? So what you'll see in this mannequin is that I've gone ahead and I've sectioned out the crown of her head, and then I have divided into sections. Now, if you're really great with your hair, by all means, skip the sectioning. But when I'm in a hurry, the first thing I do is section, because anytime I try to race through something without doing that, I end up making big knots and tangles. So, huge fan of prepping my space. So, I'm moving my trusty mannequin stand over here, and here we go. So glasses are also helpful. Now, in the video I posted earlier, I did it on myself, so you can really see just what I did with it. So first thing I did was I prepped the whole mannequin with hairspray. Actually, I used Hair Resort Spray from Kevin Murphy. One of my favorites. It's a bit of a sea salt spray. So if leave-in conditioner, hairspray, gel, and spray shine had a baby, that is what this product would be. It's really great for all types of hair, all types of wavy textures. It has heat protection in it. It's pretty great. Now, the goal of this hairdo is to get the hair relatively well curled and most of the curls pinned up and landing in the same section. So because I'm trying to make room for those bang sections to come back, this crown section, I really want to wind these a little bit tight and have them sit right on the top of the head. Now, when I did my tutorial and when I take my hair down, what you're going to see is that I ended up using pin curl clips. Right now I'm using bobby pins. I love this hairstyle for when I'm traveling, because when I put a headscarf on it, I can doze off on a plane or a train or whatever, and I'm not going to mess up the back of my head. And if I pin the scarf properly, I can often sleep in it as well. So that means that if I'm traveling a fair distance, I can do my hair at home, get to where I'm going, wake up the next morning, and still look cute. So I curled this section here in the front. And this is where you can kind of play with how you want your hair to look. Like make a little bang, make a little loop. If you've got shorter bangs, go ahead and use that. So this particular piece, I'm going to situate it like right next to that first one so that they're all right on top of each other. Doot. And then same thing with this one. And I'm going to work my way right around. If you prefer a wand, use a wand. There's no rules on this. If you don't need to use a curling iron at all, say you have wavy hair, go right ahead. Like you don't have to jump right. You don't have to curling iron this if you don't want to. So you do want to work a little bit neatly because you want these curls to look finished. And I know I'm a little frizzy right now, but like I said, I've been working. If I'm at home in the garden, I'll often choose a cotton scarf because that way if I break a little bit of a sweat, it's absorbent. Traveling, I like something a little bit silkier. If I'm doing something really messy, I might even put a hairnet over the whole thing. So I'm back at this crown section again, just to back up a little. And you can see what I'm trying to do is to make space for the hair underneath. So from this view, I'm pulling this hair straight up and I'm using my curling iron. And I'm just leaving a little room underneath. No big deal, right? And this isn't perfectly curled because let's remember that this is possibly going to sit here for a couple of days, not days, hours, overnight, whatever you need it to do. This is a play on a hairdo that I designed for my friend Jess Abernethy. She's a really great clothing designer based at Nude Boutique in the Arcade, downtown Providence. Man, she is so talented. So for me, this is a little play on like a 60s updo where women would often have a little wiglet made into this shape that I'm creating on the top of this beautiful mannequin's head. So what would happen is you'd go to the beauty parlor and you'd have your wiglet set, and then when you were having a bad hair day, you could just sweep your hair up and put your little wiglet on because you had it dyed to match, of course, and you'd look fabulous. I remember the first time I saw a character on television admit they were wearing a wiglet and I almost fainted. I thought it was the smartest thing I'd ever seen. Specifically, it was MASH, and Colonel Potter had a friend in town from the USO, and she wore a wiglet. She pulled it right off, and I thought it was just the most fabulous thing I'd ever seen. So if any of you guys have questions out there, I see I've got a couple of watchers, and I'm not going to call anyone by name because the last time I did that, they immediately decided not to watch anymore. But I do have the comments on, so if anyone has a question while I'm working, please feel free. So if anyone is tuning in live, we're working on a day to night hairstyle that involves partial wrapping with a scarf. So you can travel with it or you can sleep with it. If you're handier with hot rollers, getting these waves in with the hot rollers can work out really, really well. So what I did was I sectioned out the crown of the head and I made 4 nice little barrel curls all close together right at the top. And now I'm tucking all of these other curls just under the edge. And in the link to the blog post at the bottom of the screen, you will be able to purchase the products that I'm using today. Let's see. Shannon, you would very much enjoy a curling iron with a bigger barrel. This particular iron is one of my favorites. I think it's considered to be a professional iron. It's definitely an investment. But I like it because it has a non-stick coating. I really enjoy this. I like it a lot. Gia, everyone needs a great updo once in a while. Come see me at the salon or come see one of my great friends. If you have not had an updo by Jill Cash-Gagan, you have not lived. She's fabulous. So we're working our way around here, and it's not super hard. The other thing I love about sectioning is that, I don't know about you guys, but my arms do not like to go behind my head. Seriously, it's really uncomfortable when you're holding your arms straight up in the air and you're doing your hair for however long it needs. So if you've sectioned your project, you can stop and take a break. So when I do my hair and makeup at the same time, I'm often curling a little, putting on a little makeup, and then I'll go back to it. And then if I get frustrated, I'll walk away for a minute. So don't think that just because I've been doing hair for over 20 years means it's easy for me to do my own hair. It's just not a natural body posture. It takes a ton of work and practice. So, all right. So I got a little lazy with these clips. They're a little bit faster. If you want them to be invisible, go right ahead and use bobby pins. That will be another episode, tutorial, something, where I discuss how to hide bobby pins really well. But, this lady likes her hair pulled right back, so I didn't really make a good fringe or anything. But what you can see, the top is really pretty, isn't it? I always think of it kind of like a brioche bun. And I didn't section really neatly. I didn't go too crazy. Here where it's, anywhere where it's a little slip-in, I'll just put another little pin in real quick. And then I always hit it with my favorite hairspray. This is called Session Spray from Kevin Murphy, and it is fantastic. It reduces frizz. You can work with it a little bit. So what I do is I spray it, let it sit 5 seconds, and then lightly smooth the flyaways, and you don't get that wet look. You know how sometimes you hairspray your hair and all of a sudden it looks like you had a shower? I hate that. So how does this become day to night? Well, I'm so glad you asked, my friends. In front of me here, I have these beautiful vintage scarves that I'm selling on Etsy, and the link is in the blog. So this one I love, and it's a little tricky, and I know I'm going to have the hardest time selling it. It is not black. This is forest green, and it's just fabulous. Isn't that great? And then I have a classic super sheer scarf. I love these. My grandmother always had one on. They made me so happy. This one is silk. I don't think it's a real Gucci, but the motif of the horseshoes and like the faux logos are pretty great. It is silk. I have a Japanese scarf that I think is really pretty. And this one that I think is just classically Rhode Island, this great blue stripes. So for this particular hairdo, I recommend a large square scarf or a long rectangular. If you're going to use a square scarf, you want to fold it in half, and I'm going to use this nice sheer one as an example. Let me get this lady out of the way. Fold it in half, and then you want to fold it one more time so it's a rectangle. So you've got this great shape. And then what you do is you put the flat section right here, right? So this way, if you're napping, you're not messing up the nape of your neck. You wrap it around. I'm gonna just tie a little square knot here. Ba-dum. Isn't she cute? Now, if you had bangs, you could pull the bangs out. You can make victory rolls, spit curls, you name it. You just, whatever makes you happy. Isn't this great? I also used to do this a lot for a really great friend of mine, and I would call it the Traveler because she would come in and get it done right before a long flight. So when she had a function first thing in the morning after flying across the country, she didn't need to find a blow dry salon. So this other scarf is also on my Etsy. It's a vintage Liz Claiborne, late 70s, early 80s, not really sure. Isn't this pretty? With the lime green and fuchsia, it makes me really happy. Okay, so I did the same thing earlier. It's kind of messy, but all I'm gonna do now is pull out these pins. The tutorial that I posted earlier, I did it as a time lapse. Hi, Andrea. Oh, I'm so glad you love our tutorials. I am all about great hairdos that you can nap with, and I'll be offering a few more suggestions soon. So right now, I'm just pulling out all these little clips. Another day, I'll show you guys how to use bobby pins to get just as much security and have it be a little bit more hidden. So I have to hurry up. My mom's coming to get me. Hi, Donnelly. I'm so happy that you're here. You can always watch this video in slow motion. And like I said, I posted a time lapse of setting my own hair earlier. And what the time lapse showed is that even though I was really slowing it down personally so that the time lapse function would catch enough detail, it took me about 15 minutes to set my hair. It's not too bad. How do we feel about 15 minutes of curling iron time? Like, I don't think that's terrible. But for me, the whole secret is sectioning. If I hadn't sectioned first, I would have tangled the curling iron in my hair and then been really sad about it. Okay, so I pulled my clips out. I'm making sure they're all gone. Take my glasses off for a second. Look. So for someone that redecorated part of the salon today, scrubbed out 3 trash cans, washed out the freezer, had 2 meetings, ta-da! Isn't it pretty? Nice and easy. And if I thought ahead, I even would have brought a brush with me, but kind of my whole point with this is that you don't really have to put so much effort in. Oh, I see that great little heart. Thanks, guys. So easy breezy. To recap real quick, to get a look like this after you've been working hard all day, section out the crown of the head, make 4 big barrel curls here, section the rest of the head sort of like the numbers on a clock, and put all those curls right close to your, this was my crown section right here, these 3, and then all these pieces here are sectioned this way. And then the scarf here is going to let you keep it smooth. I prefer silkier for napping and cotton for cleaning because cotton helps with a little bit of perspiration and it hangs on a little bit better. And that's my story. So please visit our blog if you would like to make any of these scarves your own, or if you would like to acquire any of these wonderful styling products, or perhaps make an appointment with my delightful team here at Sweet Tart Salon, 150 Broadway in Providence. So be sure to post more questions if you have them. I will get to each and every one of them as soon as I am able. Have a wonderful night. Mwah!